backing up the Boasts with a 3-goal hat-trick in a tense 3-1 victory, forcing a 7th game.
He said we will win Game 6!
He played just spectacular.
Getting carried away on a wave of success came easy for celebrated surfer Mark Occhilupo.
Many players strike a Heisman pose. Few pose alongside the Heisman.
When I tasted that blood, I was already in the mode. I didn't understand the referee, I didn't understand anyone at that particular time.
A special games also for Donovan Bailey. 2 golds and a world record in winning the 100 meters, exercising the steroid-shrouded ghost of fellow Canadian Ben Johnson. The talk of drugs in the same breath as Ireland's triple gold medalist Michelle Smith may have tarnished her success in the eyes of some, but not the Irish, and certainly not Smith.
I'm not letting anything take away from this joy.
And I will miss you.
Suddenly, mid-season, after a decade as one of baseball's best and best paid second baseman, he was gone. His wife, who stood by his side at the retirement press conference, left him.
Eric Cantona, one of the world's biggest football superstars, crowd pleaser extraordinaire, a part-time model who considers himself a philosopher, who were also charged with conspiracy and corruption. Other wrongdoers have already had their punishments rubber-stamped. Former Arsenal manager George Graham was found guilty of accepting £425,000 in illegal transfer payments. Former Marseille president Bernard Tapie went on trial for trying to buy off the opposition. England international Dennis Wise attacked a taxi driver. Arsenal and England's Paul Merson spent 6 weeks in rehabilitation for cocaine and alcohol addictions.
Meet UCLA's Phantom of the Hoop. Sophomore Ed O'Bannon is playing with a broken nose these days, a rather simple challenge when you consider all he's been through. He came out of high school a few years ago, one of the most sought-after players in the land.
He's yet to take the ice in an official NHL game, but what they saw of him in the exhibition season before the lockout has fans going crazy for Paul Kariya.
Here comes Kariya. It's showtime at the park. He shoots and scores! Short-handed. Paul Kariya.
That's where it all began for him, in days of innocence. It's imperative for the good of the game that those days of innocence return for all concerned. Some players, fans and people behind the scenes are clearly making the effort already to turn around the season of shame. Only time will tell if it's a futile failure or a splendid saviour. The silence was deafening. It proclaimed to the world that sport cared. Every face declared that sport was moved by the horror of September 11th.
Move it! Come on!
That sport was one with the lost souls of the attack on America. But perhaps sport's greatest achievements after the harrowing events was to find perspective, slip respectfully into the background, and recognize that in the big scheme of things, sport really didn't matter much at all.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, it really is. Shocking news. You can't get much worse.
You never think that something gonna happen, something like this gonna happen.
It's been a very horrifying week for the whole world, and I think it's important for us to realise that there are a lot more important things in the world right now than any sporting event.
This is beyond human comprehension.
When so much of the country needs love and attention, it's hard to think about something as petty as a baseball game and a pennant race.
In such a climate, one of golf's flagships, the Ryder Cup, due to take place in late September, was postponed for a year.
It's showing the world, we understand this is just the worst thing that's probably ever happened, and we have to sort it out, and golf is nothing. It's nothing.
It was just 2 weeks away, and it was too close. If the Ryder Cup was a couple of months away or whatever, it might have been different, but I agree it was a little bit too close, and I believe the right decision has been made.
The same clothes, same bags, same everything, same number on the hats and bags, 2001. It's always going to be that. It means a lot to me that it's not going to be 2002. Don't want to forget why we're moving it to the year 2002.
Other golf tournaments were cancelled. Major League Baseball called a halt to its schedule. European Champions League football games were postponed. Likewise in American football. The respectful inactivity was widespread.
It's just the emotions were unbelievable, and to try to put that behind you is tough.
I think they say time heals wounds. Hopefully everybody can get through this. I think we will.
The events which did take place were invariably marked by acts of commemoration. And the support from sport would grow as games and competitions resumed. It was a welcome diversion in a troubling time, and never was it needed more than in New York. The ceremonies that followed for the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, and a myriad of others did the city and the nation proud.
Everybody was curious what it was going to be like. And I know there was a lot. It was quiet in the dugout. It was very moving in the dugout. I thought it was done very well.
It's such a united states, and it made an impact on me.
Our sporting passions eventually found their place again after the terror of September 11th. But only after sport, for some small time at least, quite rightly stood silently still. I'm Phil Jones.